Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Joe Bernstein here, and I want to talk to you about something that's real. When it comes time to create the life that we want, and we want to live into that creator energy rather than the consumer energy, when we want a great relationship, positive and powerful health, a good connection with our body, we want a powerful career. We just want to actually let go of all the anxieties we deal with. We want to grow interpersonally and personally, and we just want to feel better, more peace, more confidence, more calm, etc., more excitement, more self-worth. These are difficult paths. They're not quick fixes. They're not small and simple journeys. And a lot of the time, people will try and preach to us that we need to apply willpower. But I'm here to tell you that that's bullshit. If you're the kind of person that has felt like you struggle at times with willpower, with just forcing your will to stay consistent with something you set out to do, then I want you to listen. I want you to listen. So here's the story. Right now, in this moment, I'm feeling blocked creatively. I'm feeling like I'm just in a bit of a rut. I had all this momentum in doing some new projects for my business before the holiday. I've had all this momentum in really digging into my personal health with challenging myself to step up my exercise in a whole new way before the holiday. I had all this momentum actually in many ways in my personal life too. And it feels like ever since I'm back after the new year for my beautiful trip, I've lost momentum. Ideas aren't flowing as easily as far as content I'm creating. There was a project I've committed to that I've put almost no energy into. I find that I'm still working out every day, but I'm not always hitting the gym as hard as I want to. I'm compromising at times. It's harder to get going and get moving. Meanwhile, I've been building momentum in other parts of my world. There's been a lot of fruits that have been bared in my business recently. I started a bunch of new clients recently. Things are just flowing in a really powerful way, but somehow part of me still feels stuck and like I'm missing the momentum that I was in before the holidays. So I was just in my own coaching session because I'm always working with a coach on some part of my life so that I don't stay stuck very long. I like I like being able to move forward. I like having support of someone else. I like having a commitment to myself that I'll always have someone I trust, an expert, to talk to help move me through new parts of my journey and to help me build skills. I'm committed to having a coach. So in my coaching session with my client, or with my coach, I explained like I've lost momentum a little bit. And even just bringing it up with someone and asking the question, he gave me some really powerful insights. He said, why don't you dig into what meaning you're attaching to this particular project? Why don't you take a look at it? Why don't you take a look at some of the beliefs that you have around this particular project? What does it really represent for you? What does it mean? What do you believe it's keeping you from as well, which is a big one for me. I'm always trying to look at like, what if I do X, if I commit to X, what do I think it's keeping me from? And so he had some great insights, but then I had my own powerful insight that came out of it. Whenever I'm stuck in a rut, whenever I have lost momentum in other parts of my life, especially with my diet, with exercise, with relationships, etc., in the business in the past, I actually do something really powerful. Now, the world will tell you, you just need to recommit to your mission. You need to focus on your why, and you need to force your way with willpower out of the rut. And there's some energy to that. There are moments where I just say, okay, it's time for raw power. It's time to just jump in, right? I'm at the edge of the plane. I'm ready to jump. I have the parachute packed, and still fear shows up. So it's time to just jump. I get that. But if we're going to create significant long-term consistency with our actions, with our creativity, with our growth, then willpower at best is a short-term strategy. Commitment can be really hard. So when I've got a commitment to do something really big and really bold, or I've got a commitment to do something that I'm attaching a lot of significance and meaning to, and I'm not following through, that can get really scary, really daunting, and I start to create stories about how if I never get out of this rut, how I'll fail. How if I don't get this right, then there's no way I'll achieve my desired goal. There's no way I'll grow in the way that I want to. So I'm going to give you a totally different strategy, and it's real simple. Remove the significance that you're placing upon this commitment while recommitting. Most people would say, dig in, look at the significance, and then just have willpower to commit. I actually tell you the opposite. I say, take away some of the power that you've given this thing that you're committed to and actually recommit, right? So what does this look like in my life? Well, over and over again, I might fall off the wagon a little bit with the way I want to eat or with my exercise. So what I tend to do at that point, and I've done this for years. What's up, Danny? I've done this for years, right? What I always do at that point is I actually, believe it or not, lower my standard a little bit. Let's say at the time I'm like, okay, I'm experimenting with no grains in my diet, and I'm having a hard time committing to that. I actually change the commitment. I say, well, you know what? Twice a week for dinner, I'm allowed to have it. And then that actually releases some of the pressure, and I can go all in. So dope, right, Donnie? I get it. So I can go all in. I can recommit because I've lowered some of the pressure. I've lowered some of the significance. And I've committed to myself, you know what, if I have some grain, it's not a big deal. Same with the gym. When I'm having a hard time showing up to do the really intense workouts that I love to do, I actually recommit. I say, you know what, I'm going to make sure that I'm going every day, but basically I can just show up and do 20 minutes of cardio. Every time I tell myself that, I get back into the gym, and within a few days, I'm back into my full intensity. What's up, Stu? How you doing, brother? Same thing happens too. I think about being in a tension or a uncomfortable position or a disagreement or fight with a romantic partner. If I make this fight a really big deal, if I make this disharmony a really big deal, if I make this disconnection a really big deal, then I'm all attached and weird when I go back into the conversation to reconnect, when I'm trying to make reconnection. When I tell myself like, hey, either we get this right now, or one of us is probably going to leave, way too much pressure. I'm going to go in with that energy, and I'm going to go in with lots of fear and anxiety, and it's not going to work. But if I tell myself, you know what, I'm committed to the long haul. I'm committed to seeing what happens. I'm committed to learning with this person. And you know what? This one issue, we don't have to see eye to eye on. This one problem, this snag in our connection, it's not something that I have to hold on to. In fact, I can imagine that the natural flow and the natural rhythm of our love, of our connection, of our communication, of the power that we've put into this relationship in the past, it's going to flow back in, even if this one particular conversation doesn't go well, this one particular argument doesn't go well. So that's my advice for you today. If you find yourself in creative blocks, if you find yourself where you've lost momentum, I want to challenge you to actually remove some of the significance that you're placing upon said commitment, said action, said project, said growth path, and still recommit. What can you do that's small enough, that's insignificant enough, that you know that you can accomplish it every single day or every single time that you want to go after what you want? So that's what I got for you today. I hope this is helpful. Just for today, if you find yourself out of creator mode and you want to step back into your powerful creator, remove significance and recommit. I hope that's helpful. If so, drop a comment below, share this with somebody you love. Peace.